So welcome back to my channel. I'm just going to dive right in. This video is about the final chapter of my book, Creating New Patterns for Future Generations. And in this chapter, the final chapter 7, we are going to be discussing establishing new family traditions. This entails rituals and practices to set a new foundation to passively build generational wealth for future generations. You heard it. This is where I am going to be discussing home equity, income growth strategies for you and your bloodline. So you got to get the book, Miss Becca. You must download the book. I'm coming to the final phase of this book. And as I work on this final chapter, I'm just going to pour the knowledge that I've gleaned over the past almost 30 years of being a homeowner into this chapter, and how I was able to pretty much 4 to 5x my income off of this one strategy. So this is going to equip you with the insight that you need to teach your children and pass these traditions, these rituals, these practices, whatever you want to name them, down to your bloodline. And so you will learn how to pass on new mindsets for the new generation to carry the legacy. All your hard work does not have to be done in vain. Hold on, my lips feel like super dry. The winter weather doesn't like my lips. It attacks my luscious lips. And so also you will find, and I'm going to put in as a bonus, in chapter 7, you are going to receive a bonus from me. So it's going to be kind of like that strategy that I initially reactivated this channel with and talked about, these home income and growth strategies. I said, if you're in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, this is for you. Then I absolutely mean that. So I'm going to create actionable steps for creating long-term change. And that is going to be a checklist for individuals, especially the millennials, who should be owning homes. The millennials should be working hard, working smart, maybe not that hard, work smarter, not harder, work collaboratively, find a spouse, work with your spouse to put in place these systems that is going to create the legacy for you. Because if you are not a homeowner, at least by the age of 30 or in millennial age group, like 30s to 40s, what are you doing? What are you building? Share with us what other income streams or measures of growing financial sustainability and wealth for your family are you utilizing? Like, what are you putting into play so that your children and your children's children do not have to repeat your past or your parents' past or their parents' past, especially if they were plundered, like most of the Black and brown people in America. Where's the wealth? Where's my family's wealth? I literally had to hire an attorney, right? And I'm gonna have to report this attorney, who happens to be an boyfriend from years ago, that I reached out to via another attorney friend who was presiding over a case of mine, suggested, oh, call so-and-so. I said, I really don't want to. I really don't want to. He's like, but that's what he does. He's a probate attorney. Leah, you need a probate attorney. I reluctantly, in the presence of my daughter, so I had a witness when I reached out to this individual. And this was back in September. It was September 24th. I can remember the day like it was yesterday. September 24th, 2024. I called him And he answered. And I'm like, hey, you know, what's going on? Good to hear from you. You know, your friend, my ex-attorney, suggested that I reach out to you. And another attorney that I did reach out to regarding this probate case said that I now need a civil and probate attorney because of the malpractice situation that is happening over my estates. And he said, Miss Evans, I do not want to mess this up. I am merely a probate attorney. You actually need to sue individuals who are illegally mishandling the property to the point that they moved an address from the front main street to the side street and gave it a whole new address. That's illegal. I'm like, what? That's why I couldn't find it when, you know, he was having a hard time, and my cousin, who was a property manager, was having a hard time finding it, and it was coming up as some other address. Like, the devil is a liar. So I reached out in the presence of my daughter, based off of an old attorney of mine, to this new attorney, based off of the other attorney who said you need a civil attorney and a probate attorney, and this individual does all of that. I said, listen, this is what is happening. In lieu of all of this happening, and I initially reached out to a probate attorney 3-4 years ago when the property was bequeathed to me. And, that attorney plundered me. And so I had to write the Supreme Court regarding this entire situation. And I wrote the Supreme Court after I reached out to the Bar Association and filed a disciplinary action against that initial probate attorney because of the plundering, and submitted all proof, wills and the stock certificates, all the printouts of all the properties that my family owned, and how it exchanged from one hand to the next in the registration of wills, and submitted all of that along with the attorney's name and phone number and his secretary's names that plundered me. And so the Supreme Court wrote me back, Miss Evans, answer these questions. I answered all of the questions, submitted it. They wrote me back again, Miss Evans, you need to hire a probate attorney about your estates. I thought I did that, and he plundered me, so I had to hire another one. So it's just on this whole merry-go-round of Steel City plundering, pillaging mentality of attorneys who are in the good old attorney boys club that perhaps doesn't want me to pursue and even take back what belongs to me and my family. And this last attorney, who happens to be my color, literally this color, reached out. He tried to say, I didn't say you have a probate case. Well, first of all, you did not have to tell me that, because I already know I do. And I've already received correspondence from the Supreme Court. And he was like, oh, you received letters from the Supreme Court? I'm like, yes. And we have already had this conversation in September 2024. The Spirit of the Most High put it in me to follow up with you to check on my case. Oh, Leah, I didn't tell you you had a case. I didn't tell you I was going to take your case. I'm like, yes, you did say you were going to take a look at my case. You actually wanted me to hand you over the original documentation so you guys can just plunder me entirely. I said, absolutely not. I will scan them and email them to you. Do you recall that conversation? He says, no. I said, okay, well, let me refresh your memory. I pulled up the text, pinged him, like, okay, here it is right here. And you sent me your email address so that I can email you this information, and as well as the letters from the Supreme Court that was telling me to hire a probate attorney about my estates. Do you not recall this? That's clearly right there on September 24th in the text. And he gets all quiet. Leah. This is how he talks to me, real effing slow. I'm driving, coming from another case, and it's going to take me an hour or two to get back to Pittsburgh. I said, okay. When you arrive, can you check your email to confirm that I did in fact send you everything that the Supreme Court said, so I don't have to say this is coming from my mouth, but it literally is coming from the Supreme Court. Okay. I said, okay, bye. He didn't call. He didn't email. I called him multiple times. He didn't answer the phone. He didn't text back. He didn't respond. So I'm trying with all of my common decency for the next black man to not report you to the Bar Association and then write the Supreme Court again regarding another plundering attorney. This one happens to be black. The first one was white. Over my case. So I'm beginning to think, because I know this black attorney lives in the area where my property is. And I know he purchased property in that area. I'm starting to wonder if he was the one that actually purchased in 2019, right after I reached out to the first attorney, after my uncle died, within this 9-month time period that you got to go through this probate. I did everything on time. Then somebody mysteriously purchases the apartment building and the row houses, which are multi-unit row houses. Like collectively, there's like 21 bedrooms that belong to me, that some people have purchased, and we didn't sell them. We did not rent them out to them. And I'm beginning to think, I hope he didn't purchase my property. And this is why this plundering, delay, downright denial of his assistance is occurring, because perhaps he doesn't want to sue himself. So I need another attorney, and I'm going to reach back out to the attorney who said to me, whoa, I would take your case, but this is beyond probate. This is malpractice litigation. And this was a white man. And I'm going to reach back out to him and ask him, I want you, if you are still willing, to take on the probate case. And then I will have to hire another real estate attorney to sue the title companies or whoever was in charge of changing these addresses to hide the fact that this apartment building belongs to someone else. But they weren't able to take the address that is engraved into the bricks, out of the bricks that's on the top of the building. The original address is still there. So, Ms. Baka, if you are an attorney, if you know a probate litigation malpractice attorney, please have them to email me at leah@firstandcrown.com. That is Leah, Leah, at first, firstandcrown.com, because I would like to hire this individual to help me take back what the cankerworm has stolen from my bloodline. I have already been downtown to the real estate county building and have already spoken to the director and have already showed him the bequeathed will, the registration of will, the copy of the bond, the stock that my uncle had when he purchased this block. Essentially, I owned a block of property, Ms. Baka. And that director or supervisor, the leader of that building in downtown, grabbed his head like, oh my God, if you hire an attorney, this right here, all of this has to be probated back 53 years. I will give you back all of your deeds. Because they know there's a lot of pillaging and plundering in the Hill District of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. But yet this black man, is he part of the plundering gang of attorneys who is buying up property in the Hill District? I don't know. But what I'm not going to stand for anymore as a woman of the Most High, and you may have some men say she has too much authority, or, you know, women are supposed to be authoritative, like women just belong in the kitchen barefoot making babies, and my children are grown. I'm a grandmother. I'm single, and being here in my land of captivity has shaped and equipped me to stand, having done all to stand with authority given to me through Christ from the Father, to take back everything that belongs to me and still be a lady about it. So, Miss Baka, wealth is tied into property. And that's why I said, if you are a millennial, you should be owning some property, some land, something of value, gold, a universal life insurance policy, something of value that you can generate income, multiple streams, if possible, to put in trust. I have to go through the whole creating of the trust process. I'm already at LLC. My First and Crown Solutions is my LLC. The PURGE box is my trademark. The PURGE box is a trademark of First and Crown Solutions. So as a trauma recovery life coach, I've been able to recover what belongs to me and my family through pillaging and plundering. But I have to go through this whole process of finding a right attorney that's not going to try and plunder me and my bloodline again, unless I have to sue him, unless I have to write the Supreme Court again, unless I have to file another disciplinary action again on another attorney, then I will. So chapter 7 of this book is, there's going to be a checklist for you to go down the list and learn why it is important not to touch the equity in your home if you're wanting to build wealth, unless you have other opportunities to transfer that equity into another project that's going to generate wealth for you and your family. You got to level up. Millennials, Generation Z is doing it. So I'm not talking to them. They're doing it. Millennials, black millennials here, especially in Pittsburgh, they're crack babies. Lots of them. Drug babies. Their parents, a lot of their parents, or perhaps the parent's spouse, not even known, was on drugs. Like, I think of stuff like that. But there's a lot of millennial crack babies in the United States, and they are missing the mark. They are okay with making excuses. They're okay with, I ain't never leaving, living in housing, supplemental, subsidized, governmental properties. They're okay with that. Whereas you have the Generation Z watching, praying, fasting, turning over every stone, reading scriptures, uncovering, discovering, recovering the truth. And they're taking the insight that they're learning from Generation X, people like me that are savvy investors or intrinsically invested into opportunities that they know are building wealth substantially. The baby boomers, honestly, I don't know what they're doing or have done for this generation that we see growing up, Generation Z. What have the baby boomers done for you? A lot of them were alcoholics. A lot of them lost their money during the downturn economy in 2008 and 2009. Like, I lost money during that economy. I moved from one location, moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, from Pittsburgh, bought a house there. Like, I lost that house. I lost my business down there, lost the job down there, came back to Pittsburgh, regrouped into a house that I own, and poured all my focused intentions deliberately into building wealth using that one house. So chapter 7 is for those, I'm telling you, the entire book of Breaking Brokenness is for the diaspora to build generational wealth and purge generational poverty. So don't not read every chapter, because there's a build-up. Everything that you do is to help the next generation. So the first chapter, the second chapter, it's a build-up to help the next generation. Make sure you utilize it all. And at the end of that book is a greater opportunity for you to dive even deeper into metaphysically connecting with your best version in the future, right? Right? And tapping into God codes and wealth codes, right? Meditating on the word of the Most High and knowing that He will do exceedingly and abundantly above all. He put a code in us. He put His stamp on us. But it needs to be activated. And meditation will help you to activate that. So at the end of that book, there is a opportunity to join my course, Break the Chains. And in that course, I will guide you through 8 different transformational aspects to integrate for you to truly become your best version. All right, Ms. McCall. But I had to get that out. Had to have this talk with you about this final chapter and about what I'm going through. And I need your help. I need your support. I need someone to send me information. An attorney who can practice here in Pennsylvania, that is a probate attorney and a civil attorney, because the Supreme Court has ordered me to hire an attorney about my estates. We need to get this money. So I will break you off something real good if you do a good job. Understand that there's wealth invested, tied up into this. A lot of it that they do not want me to have, because we are reshaping and reframing what new beginnings look like. Our goal is to work smart, not hard. And we all need to work, but we don't need to be slaves. And the systems that we see in this world has been set up for us to make other people rich when you got the wealth code inside you to make you and your bloodline rich. So thank you for watching this video. Make sure you drop a name of an attorney that I should reach out to. If you have their information, you can put it in the comments below, or just have them to email me for discreet reasons. I get it, but I can't do this without your help, because I'm dealing with heathens. Heathens in the Steel City. Dealing with Steel City heathens, Miss Wakat. I need your help to get these vipers off. Scatter these vipers away from what belongs to me, so I can take what Yah says is mine. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day. Shalom.